Have you ever wondered why Cristiano Ronaldo is so hated by so many footballers around the world? The unconditional fans of CR7 will tell you right away that it's out of pure jealousy, but wouldn't their judgment be a bit subjective? In any case, some footballers who have worked with Ronaldo on and off the field do not really appreciate the Portuguese striker. So we try to find out who among them hates him and for what reason. So make yourself comfortable and above all stay focused, because on this video you will know the 10 footballers who literally hate Cristiano Ronaldo and above all the reason of their visceral hatred. If there is one player in the world who could not get angry with Cristiano Ronaldo, it is Wayne Rooney, simply because the two were buddies when they formed the famous pair of Manchester United assassins. Back then, the two comrades were very close, both on and off the pitch, and their friendship never cooled down. Indeed, it should not be forgotten that they won 3 Premier League titles and a Champions League together. But in 2009, Cristiano left the Manchester club for Real Madrid, and since then, the Portuguese and the Englishman have not really seen each other again, except on rare occasions and never on their own initiative. Thus, when CR7 signed his unlikely return to Old Trafford, we could think that the two companions will enjoy their joyful reunion. But it was not, because many things had changed in the last decade, starting with Rooney, who decided in 2021 to hang up his boots and become a coach. And it is precisely with the look and perspective of a coach that Rooney criticized Cristiano, since he also occupies the position of consultant for an English TV channel. Rooney said that the return of Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United would not bring anything more to the English club, and that it needed more young players, referring to the age of the Portuguese, who is no longer very fresh, according to him. Cristiano Ronaldo, for his part, did not appreciate these statements at all and responded vehemently. For him, Rooney is nothing less than a jealous who hates him simply because he still plays in high level, while he himself has already retired. The Portuguese even adds a layer, stating that of course he is much more physically beautiful than Rooney, and that's why he hates him so much. Alejandro Moreno may not be a name that tells you much, but for American soccer fans he was a great footballer in the 2000s. But in 2013, Moreno decided that it was time for him to hang up his cleats and become a sports commentator for a large American sports channel. Alejandro Moreno has never been close to Cristiano Ronaldo, which means that his judgment can be qualified as rather objective. Thus, when at the beginning of 2017, Real Madrid had a small decline in performance, everyone accused Ronaldo of being the one and only responsible. Moreno said then that the Portuguese striker was a victim of his own success, and that everyone is so used to seeing him win that when he happens to lose, he is immediately put on the spot. Therefore, CR7 does not really have the right not to score, unlike other players in the team who do not receive all this attention. Between Cristiano Ronaldo and Pep Guardiola, the hatchet has been dug up for ages, and there is no way that they can one day smoke the peace pipe, since the two can't get along. The animosity between the two dates back to the time when the Portuguese was the undisputed star of Real Madrid and Guardiola was the coach of FC Barcelona. Because it is an open secret that the Blaugrana players hated Ronaldo, whom they considered too arrogant and contemptuous and above all, devoid of any sense of fair play. Of course, their coach was also of the same opinion, so much so that Guardiola even snubbed the Portuguese during the Ballon d'Or 2012 ceremony in Zurich, deliberately refusing to shake his hand. Pep Guardiola also misses no opportunity to inject his venom to Ronaldo, taunting him when he is at his lowest form, or mocking his performances that over time have become increasingly soft. The Madrid derby is certainly no easy task, and if you are avid La Liga spectators, you know this only too well. The nerves of the players of both teams are on edge, and both Real and Atletico fans literally go into trance as soon as the whistle blows to start the game. But the tension only reaches its peak when the duel between Koke and Cristiano Ronaldo begins, and then we can say that it is a show. Because if there's one thing that Koke Resurrection hates, it's the Portuguese striker, to the point that he even hates him. During a clash with him, Koki even called him all the exotic bird names he knew, and we can say that the vocabulary of the Spanish player is not really limited in this register. Cristiano Ronaldo even came close to punching him, but his fist stopped halfway, probably to avoid the red card. But Koki really has the gift to make the Portuguese out of his heels, as you can see on these images, for the least stormy and hilarious. We already know that almost all the footballers who played for Barcelona, above Cristiano Ronaldo and Dani Alves, is certainly no exception. The Brazilian midfielder, who currently plays for Pumas UNAM, remembers with great bitterness the haughty and contemptuous behavior of Ronaldo. Dani Alves remembers an argument that had opposed the Portuguese during a ceremony of awarding the Golden Ball. The Brazilian had indeed crossed Cristiano Ronaldo in the locker room, and naturally he went to greet him, but the Portuguese did not want to return his greeting. Given the exacerbated rivalry that existed at the time between Real Madrid and Barcelona, and which transcended the soccer stadiums. Dani Alves obviously did not digest this affront, and a big fight in the locker room was about to break out, which would have been the biggest sports scandal of the year. Fortunately, the Brazilian knew how to temper his ardor, and the help of the other players who were present at that moment allowed that the spirits do not heat up and that the situation does not degenerate. There are some footballers who have a visceral hatred for Cristiano Ronaldo simply because he is the best, which is a blatant example of jealousy and gratuitous resentment. Arturo Vidal is definitely in this category, because his resentment towards Ronaldo has no logical basis whatsoever. The Chilean international with the Iroquois crest had declared that for him, Ronaldo simply did not exist, and that he was only a smartass. Vidal's animosity towards CR7 has its origins in Bayern Munich's matches against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Vidal, who played for the Munich club at that time, could only score one goal in the first leg and was sent off with a red card in the second leg. Cristiano Ronaldo, for his part, had managed to score 5 goals during the 2 games, which obviously aroused extreme jealousy in the Chilean striker, who found nothing better to do than to denigrate his opponent in public. The weapon of the week. Gonzalo Higuain is a footballer who is very well placed to speak about Cristiano Ronaldo, since the former Argentine international had played with the Portuguese in Real Madrid and later in Juventus. Higuain can be considered a good comrade of CR7, having wet their shirts with him and shared so many great moments over the years. We could have expected that the ex-footballer would have been full of praise for his former teammate, but curiously, this is not really the case. Higuain said in 2020 that he did not consider Cristiano Ronaldo as the best player in the world because other footballers such as Benzema, Lewandowski, or Erling Haaland were much more successful. Higuain could be criticized for his objective judgment, but it should be noted that the Argentine was not soft on his own compatriot Lionel Messi. Higuain has worn the albiceleste jersey for more than a decade with Messi, so we cannot say that he does not know what he is talking about, and we cannot accuse him of favoritism either. It's not only Cristiano Ronaldo's rival footballers who hate him, since we can consider the former businessman and FIFA president Sepp Blatter as one of his most zealous detractors. During a question-and-answer session organized by the prestigious Oxford University, Blatter was asked which of Messi and Ronaldo was the best footballer. The former FIFA president then gave his opinion on the question in the most absurd and incongruous way. Getting up from his chair, Sepp Blatter then began to physically imitate Cristiano Ronaldo, pretending to move and talk like a robot, with burlesque mimics and gestures worthy of the gestures of Louis XVI. The Swiss businessman sank into the most infamous grotesque. It can be said that ridicule does not kill, because otherwise poor Blatter would have been dead and buried long ago. For his part, CR7 remained phlegmatic in front of so much buffoonery, contenting himself with declaring to his fans that FIFA has never really respected him, nor his country for that matter, and that this explained many things. The footballer referring to the low status of Portugal in the International Soccer Federation and the lack of respect for him. We continue with another Barca player who hates Cristiano Ronaldo, but this time it is a mythical name in the soccer world. Xavi Hernandez is one of the legendary footballers who have worn the Blaugrana shirt and was trained by the Catalan club since his early childhood, like Lionel Messi. The former Spanish footballer therefore knows very well the rivalry between Real Madrid and FC Barcelona, since he was one of the most zealous artisans. No one will ever forget Xavi's wonderful defensive saves, especially not the Portuguese, who suffered from them for a long time. But the antipathy that exists between the two of them only reached its peak when the Spaniard made a strong statement about CR7. For him, Ronaldo did not have the footballing intelligence of Messi, words that the Portuguese was far from being able to digest. Since then, the relationship between the two players has never been good, and Cristiano Ronaldo still harbors a lot of resentment towards the Spaniard. And as always on your favorite YouTube channel, we have reserved the best for the end, with this sequence at least memorable. Because if the players of Real Madrid and Barcelona hate each other, there is a footballer who pushes the envelope a little further. Gerard Piqué has never hesitated to proclaim loudly and clearly his deep hatred and contempt for Los Blancos. But the main repository of hatred of Piqué and Real Madrid is indeed Cristiano Ronaldo. The ex of Shakira hates CR7 at the highest point, and he makes it known when he has the opportunity. On these images, totally hilarious, you can see Piqué imitating maliciously the famous gesture of Cristiano Ronaldo, the calma, the way for him to taunt the Portuguese striker. Even if between us, he doesn't really have the class of CR7 when he makes this gesture, isn't it?